Hello, Replica family. It's a great honor, great privilege to once again come to church and to once again connect with all those who are following all the conversations and all the content that have been coming your way uh, throughout the week. It's Thursday. Once again, you are on to the I conversation with Oscar. Uh, I cannot tell you enough of how each week I look forward to this conversation, and simply because I believe that lives are going to be impacted uh, just from the contents that we bring your way. Uh, it's once again another Thursday, and if you're watching from all over the world, I just want to tell you you matter to God, and that's why you're able to connect. You matter to God, that's why we're doing what we're doing. You matter to God. That's why God has given you yet another day. Many would love to uh, have access to God's word from the comfort of their rooms, but many things are coming up against that. But for me, it's a big honor and privilege to get to do this once again on Thursday. And this is one of the content on the Replica Church that brings together conversations from Scripture, uh, connecting these triple chord conversations about the environment, about young people, and about economy. So we're looking at these three very big global trends and global shifts that every society, every nation must pay attention to: the environment, young people, and the economy. And Christians cannot also stand aloof. Christians need to contribute to this conversation. Today, I'm taking once again my. I've been doing some sort of a series on who is my neighbor. And last week, it was exciting connecting with Carol. Carol has been a friend, and we talked about this whole idea, reflecting on the very parable uh, where Jesus was asked the question, uh, who is my neighbor? And he gave the parable that eventually led to the young man being challenged to go back and do likewise. And today, I particularly want to look at the subject of blessing and to connect it to the whole conversation of who is my neighbor. By the way, we will in the next couple of days and episodes and series, I would be connecting this whole conversation, who is my neighbor, with people, Christians around the world who are doing stuff and who are on a daily basis challenging that question. Today, what I desire to do is to talk about blessings. And you would agree with me that everybody wants to be blessed. Everybody desires to be blessed. Each morning we wake up in our from our homes, and each day our prayer is that the Lord will bless me. Lord, bless me with a new car, bless me with a new house, bless me with stuff, bless me with things. And we seldom sit and ask ourselves, why do we want God to bless us? And I want to throw that question to you today. Just reflect, and maybe you should look at your the list of the things you're trusting God to bless you. Maybe that will point you to why you desire God to bless you. But as I connect the question, who is my neighbor? I'm challenging us, wherever you are. Why do you desire God to bless you? Is it because you want a comfortable life? Possibly that is the reason. And there's no crime, there's no sin wanting a comfortable life. Is it that you want a convenient life, life without stress, life without trouble? Uh, is it that you want your needs to be met? I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with desiring all of these things. But then, in my journey, I stumbled on this chapter of scripture, Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 12 gives you the very, opens up with the calling of Abraham. When God called Abraham and sort of set him apart. And again, Abraham is more or less like the foundation where you connect the entirety of the children of Israel, their roots. They find their roots from Abraham. But I find something very interesting about blessing from the very 12th chapter of Genesis. Genesis chapter 12. I would just take some readings from the first three verses. And the Bible tells us that the Lord had said to Abraham, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. And I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you." Now, watch the occurrence of blessing, blessing, blessing. But I find something very interesting. I will, referring to God. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and I will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth, which is my emphasis, all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. All people on earth will be blessed through you. Now, this tells me something very interesting about why God blesses us and why we should desire God to bless us. Now, you notice that the three most fundamental needs of every human being when it comes to seeking God's blessings are mentioned there. First, you see, he said, "I will make you into a great nation." Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to have power. And, when we talk about the G7, by the way, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk a bit about the response of the G7 to the whole conversation around climate change and how best Christians are supposed to respond. But then, when you talk about the G7, you're talking about greatness, nations with greatness. And then you see, he says, "I will make your name great." Now, possibly you are great, you're powerful, but that does not make you famous. But we see God saying he's going to bless Abraham with fame. And everybody desires to be famous. And then lastly, we see he says, "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse." This for me captures some sort of the concept of protection. God is saying that you are shielded, you're protected. And you see, everyone wants to be powerful, everyone wants to be famous, and everyone wants to have some sense of security, protection. And God promises that he's going to give all three to Abraham. And when you read the succeeding verses, you would see that immediately these three blessings began to manifest in the life of Abraham. But it's easy to miss this very simple phrase in the third verse of Genesis 12, which says, "And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." So essentially, God is saying that Abraham is not going to be a reservoir of blessing. Rather, Abraham is going to be a channel of blessing. And Abraham being a channel of blessing is not just to Israel, it's not just to his descendants. Because when you read through the entire story of Abraham, you would see that at some point in time, the enemy wanted to thwart this fundamental reason why Abraham was chosen when he suggested to him that come on, you need an heir. And Abraham started to listen to the suggestion of his wife, essentially the suggestion from the enemy, right? And Abraham started to listen to that. He forgot that God is saying that his blessing, the blessing will be on him. However, the blessing is to all peoples on earth. So you see, God had a bigger agenda. God had a bigger reason why he is blessing Abraham. Unfortunately, when you think about our own personal lives and why most times we desire God to bless us, it's not for the benefit of our neighbors. And for this context, the neighbors of Abraham is the entire earth. And when I think about our actions and our inactions and how it affects the entire, we're more or less a global village. How when we talk about how we all share in the pains of our actions and inactions. Now you have issues around environment, climate change, you have all of this happening all over the world. However, the entire universe is experiencing the effects of climate change. And I see that coming very clearly in the fact that the pain of Abraham was going to be the pain of the entire world. And you see the simple decision of not allowing the timing of God for Isaac to come to bear. However, Abraham followed the suggestion of his wife, which is Haggai, to then bring forth an heir to Abraham. And technically, when you look at it, we're all paying the consequences of that choice. We're all paying the consequences of that choice. But then the point is this, that Abraham was not supposed to be a reservoir of God's blessings. However, Abraham was supposed to be a channel through which all peoples of the earth will be blessed. Now, do you usually think of God blessing you as a medium of reaching out to others? Or do you think that God's blessings to you, whether in material sense, whether in whatever medium, is just for you, yourself, and I? It's just for you, yourself, and you're selfish, you're individualistic, you're personal, and your own stomach? Or do you believe, or do you perceive that for each time God blesses you, the purpose of God's blessings is really to reach out to the rest of the world, to reach out to those who are either around you or those who are somehow in life your path is going to cross? Now, most times when God blesses us, there is this limited view. There's this selfish personal view of why God is blessing us. And most times we perceive it to be simply for your own selfish need. But I want to challenge you today. I want to challenge you today to rethink that idea that the essence of God's blessings upon your life is so that you would reach out to the entire world. That God has blessed you with amazing gifts and amazing talents and amazing, huge resources. And the essence of God's blessings upon your life is not just for you, it's for all those around you and even those who are far beyond the expanse of this earth. Those who do not even share boundary with you. And blessed be the name of the Lord, that today you can be in the comfort of your house and you can still be a blessing to those who are far off you. How do you feel when you hear that people from different parts of the world are encountering disaster, environmental disaster, hurricane, earthquake, flooding? Does it move you to want to reach out to them in whatever means, through prayer, through your money, through resources? Or do you think, man, I don't have any business with these guys. These guys are of different race. These guys are of different religion. These guys are of different philosophy with mine. So I have no business with them. But you see, your neighbors essentially is the whole of creation. And when I started this whole series of Who is My Neighbor, one of the things I asked you to do is to go out to your immediate environment and just study your environment. You'll be amazed to discover that you share your environment with tiny little creatures that you have never imagined to have existed. Pay close attention, you discover that yes, you do not want to see spiders inside your house, but then spiders still do exist around your environment. Would you want to destroy them? You'll be amazed to find some creatures that you have never in your life imagined that they do exist. So today I challenge you. Your blessings is not for you. It's not for you. When God makes you famous, it's not for you. When God makes you powerful, it's not for you. When God grants you security, whatever security God has given you, it's not for you. It's so that all the peoples on the earth will be blessed through you. So when I think of people amassing millions and millions of naira and dollars and pounds and euros and all of that in their bank account, sometimes it fascinates me. Someone was sharing with me that there are people in this country that can stay in the comfort of their house for the next 50 years and not work, and they will not go hungry. I mean, they've worked for it. I'm not even talking about those who stole money, who are getting money illegitimately and all of that. But I'm talking about those who have essentially worked for it. But then they don't see the need to reach out to others. But today, as you reflect on the question, who is my neighbor, reservoir or channel, think about the fact that God is making you a channel. And you see, a channel of God's blessing never runs dry. Someone who is a channel of God's blessings, you never run dry. But I tell you, a reservoir can go empty. But a channel is always being wet. A channel is always being refilled. A channel is always flowing. And Abraham understood that. At the latter part of his life, Abraham demonstrated amazing faith. And no wonder when you read Hebrews 11, you would see that Abraham was mentioned in the Hall of Fame and Hall of Faith. Amongst many people that were mentioned there, Abraham was there. And why was he mentioned as righteous? Simply because he exercised faith. And it is this faith that all of us are benefiting today. And I remember the song we used to sing, Abraham's blessings are mine. Abraham's blessings are mine. I am blessed in the morning, I am blessed in the evening. Abraham's blessings are mine. Yes, we're all benefit factors of Abraham's blessings. But then, why is our generation in such a lack? Some of us are blessed with amazing gifts and amazing talents, but we only keep it for ourselves. The world is waiting for you. If you're a young person out there, the world is waiting for you. The world must feel the touch, the impact of your existence. Do not just exist like a matter. Come on, touch the world. Impact the world with your gifts. Impact the world with your resources. Impact the world with all that God has given you. And I think it was Mandela who said there's no passion found in playing small, in living a life less than what you're capable of. So come on, you don't have any business remaining in your cocoon. Bust out like the butterfly. Bust out, metamorphose. Come on, impact, touch your world, touch your environment, touch the entire universe. You can actually reach the world. You have no business staying in your comfort. God is blessing you because he desires that you will also be a blessing to the peoples of the earth. Do not be a reservoir anymore. Reservoir that only receives. Keeps praying, Lord, bless me. Keeps praying, Lord, I want to receive. Come on. Blessed is the hands that give it than the hands that receive. So be a blessing to your generation, be a blessing to those around you, be a blessing to the world, be a blessing to all those who come in contact with you. Let them feel it, let them know that you being blessed is for the world. And I just hope that this challenges you well and this makes you to have a different overview of what God's blessings is. And you see, when you think that your blessing is just for you and yourself, the blessing eventually becomes a problem to you. The blessing becomes a problem to you. And I remember a story of someone who, I don't know how true this story is, but then even if it's a fictitious story, yeah, the story makes a lot of sense to me. That someone visited a friend, and the friend had just slaughtered a big cow, and the friend told him that he can slaughter a cow and eat the cow, the full cow, for a year. And the man said, "How do you do that?" He said, I mean, that's what I do. I slaughter one cow and I eat it for a year." And this man quickly went back home and slaughtered a cow and told them, "Store this cow in the fridge, store this cow in everywhere that you can store it up, and let's eat it." My friend, so friend, kills a cow and he eats the cow in a year. And guess what? He slaughtered this cow, tried to preserve the cow by all means, but by the second week, the cow has started going bad. Several factors acted on the cow. The cow has started going bad. And he quickly came back to this friend and he said, "How did you do it? I just slaughtered the cow, but I couldn't keep this cow for a year." And the man now explained to him that when I slaughter the cow, I call all my friends and neighbors and I share a pieces of the cow to them. And I visit them all through the year. I visit this house today and I eat and they feed me with a cow. I don't know how they do it. I visit this house today and I eat and they feed me with the meat of the cow. I don't know how they do it. But it turns out that everybody somehow gets to slaughter a cow or something. And this man, when he visits this house before the end of the year, he has visited all the people he has shared the cow to, and he gets to eat from them. But now, this is the point of this story, that when you are a blessing to others, you never run dry. You never run dry. And you see, it's unfortunate that when you are a blessing, yes, sometimes you're afraid people will take advantage of you, people will abuse it. Please just be a blessing. Don't worry about that. It's not your own to worry about people. It's yours to just simply be you. Just simply be you. And trust me, when you are you, when you are a blessing, you will touch the world, you will touch lives, and the world will feel your impact. So the next time you are wondering why you are asking God to bless you, remember that you're asking God to bless you so you would be a channel of blessing to others. I just hope that these thoughts are very useful and very relevant as you trust God for blessing, whether blessings of resources, blessings of whatever kind. Just trust Him to also enable you to be a blessing to all the people. Thank you for those of you watching. Thank you for those of you that will eventually watch. I just pray that you will find these resources useful and helpful. Uh, it's an amazing time that I've just shared with you. I look forward to talking with you next week. I will bring you another series of Who is My Neighbor, but this time around, I hope to talk with someone, to have someone join me in the conversation. And the person I'm thinking of getting is not someone you would want to miss. It's someone I know you would want to connect and listen to. So look forward to having you next week. And I also look forward to reading your comments and your thoughts about this whole series. I'm always excited to come your way. And like I would always mention somehow within my chat, we're doing all these because you matter. And again, it's why the replica church does exist. It's because you matter. So from wherever you are, if it's night, like where I am right now, is getting to close to midnight. I just hope you have a great time and a great rest. And if it's afternoon, morning, just have a blessed rest of the day. So I'll come your way again next week with the conversation, the I conversation. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye bye.